All right. Hello, everybody. Good afternoon. This is High Priestess Jamila. All right. I want to come and talk to y'all about the phenomenon of gang stalking and what you're actually dealing with and the best way to deal with it. Um, so, gang stalking is a very devastating phenomenon to happen to any human being. It is absolutely horrible. It is absolutely deplorable to think that this kind of terrorism could happen to anybody. But I wanted to come and speak about ways that you can manage it. And I wanted to say that, first of all, it's something that, depending on your religion, maybe, or depending on your spiritual beliefs, you can more so manage it. So it doesn't stop, especially if you're a witch. Um, this is one of the things that a lot of people, um, like a lot of witches, are being gang stalked. I guess it would depend on your bloodline. I think that it can come from various sources: your ex-husband, sometimes your family, sometimes the church that you used to go to. Sometimes it can come randomly. It can happen randomly. Sometimes. Do I believe that there is some spiritual meaning behind it? Absolutely. There's a spiritual meaning behind everything. And the spiritual meaning of it is very demonic people. Very demonic people. Typically, a gang stalker is going to be somebody that is sociopathic. It is going to be somebody that is typically somebody very obsessive compulsive, to be able to repeat the same thing over and over and over again. Um, and hello, Smokey. Good evening. It's absolutely devastating to the mind, the body, and the spirit. I'm going to tell you something. If you want to do something good for the world, more than likely this is going to happen to you, especially if you're in the public, if you're in the public eye. Um, yes, they do use witches. And I just want to say this about any witch that is participating in this gang stalking. If you were born a witch, if it's in your bloodline, I believe that you're going to have a lot of answering to do. You're going to have a lot to answer for. Um, I still believe in my heart of hearts that the energy comes from interdimensional beings. I still believe that, because I can't possibly believe ever that a human being would actually be capable of this, to do this to somebody. When you go into, when you think about, because I actually got to know a gang stalker very well. I got to know him very well. And underneath the bullshit, there's a human being that's underneath there. There's a human being that is traumatized. There's a human being that is confused. There's a human being that is conflicted. And it's so difficult to break that pattern within them. Because in order for you to stop being gang stalked, the other person has to be willing to stop gang stalking you. That, they have to be willing to do that. And I believe that we all have the ability to do it. I believe not we all. I believe that gang stalkers have the ability to stop gang stalking a person. But I believe that there's an immense amount of pressure that is put on that person. And bear in mind that it's usually because of a petty reason, like what Stephanie is saying. Hey, Stephanie. It's usually arising from a very petty reason. Typically somebody that wants to get revenge on you. It's done as a way of revenge. The more sensitive and the more psychic that you are, the worse that it is. Because when you are a psychic, or when you are somebody that is tapped in to the world and other people, you're going to pick up on it. You're going to be able to remote view them. I remote view my gang stalkers all the time, and you can just see them thinking and obsessing and not having the capability to let it go. Depression, the anxiety behind it, the demonic, non-familiar spirit that compels them and forces them to do this, to participate in an activity that can ultimately lead a person to either death or suicide. And, we're not going to deny gang stalking anymore. We've got an inside look at it. We've seen it happen in our faces for the past 6 years. So the whole thing where they try to make the victim feel crazy, that's thrown out the window. We just gonna throw the baby out with the bathwater with that. We're not gonna do that no more. Their game of doing this over and over and over again, they can no longer deny it. They can't. They can't deny it. When it started happening to me, it was undeniable. And I've been getting gang stalked for upwards to 15 to 20 years. Um, they are usually people that were raised in an abusive religious environment, typically. And not just a religious environment. I was raised to believe that God was love. I was raised to think of God as this peaceful entity or this peaceful energy. But gang stalkers, they were raised to believe that God is evil and punishes the guilty. And you can be guilty for a number of things, especially witchcraft, especially witchcraft. And there's a lot of people that feel like, well, if you can't beat them, join them. I would never do this. I would rather die than to join up with a gang stalker. Just simply because I know how to live real life. I know how to exist as a joyful, happy, and healthy person. The way that I have managed it for years was through spiritual cleanses, because their thoughts and their actions are usually your thoughts. And sometimes your actions, especially if you're very empathic, I don't believe that this paradigm is something that any human being would carry out. I think that it does have alien roots to it. I believe that it's something that is not even native to this planet. It can be so harmful to the mind. I'm going to tell you something. The one way is to try to put up your defenses, do the work that you have to do, especially if they're using witches, and try to live your life. You have to try. Eventually, gang stalkers are going to drive each other crazy. Eventually, they're going to drive each other into the grave. My mother was a gang stalker. My father, a gang stalker. And they claim they're doing it for God, right? No, that's not God that is compelling them. When you tell them the help that they need so desperately, they say they don't believe in it. What they believe in is what they're doing. I just tried to get through to one of them today. I said, you need a cleanse. Wouldn't getting a cleanse and clearing yourself of those entities and demons be better? No, I don't believe in that. They claim they don't believe in it, but it works because the gang stalkers are being gang stalked. They gang stalk each other. If you're in a gang stalking committee or network, when you try to get out of it, they'll start to stalk the gang stalkers. This is something that is going to eventually do harm to the gang stalker. It is, trust me. And, God loves them just as much as God loves you. The only difference is that they tend to tune out God because God is telling them, do not do this to this person. Please stop doing this to this person. Please stop. But they just continue to do it. The demons end game is death or suicide. Now, if you're a person that loves your life, you're going to do what? You're going to fight for your life. These entities choose people that are programmable, that are programmed. They're programmed to feel like, oh, I didn't do things 100% perfect. I didn't do things right. I'm not perfect. I'm a sinner. I'm horrible. I made the wrong decisions. I regret everything I do in life. Absolutely, I can help you. The one thing that I can tell you, thank you for the super chat, by the way. Um, you have to be willing to experience pain You have to be willing to experience pain, because in order to get through it, you're going to go through some painful moments. And as you guys notice, they get worse around the holidays. They do. Today's the 27th. Um, and as we go close to Halloween, they tend to get worse because the veil is thinner. In fact, I can't see the difference between the spirit realm and the earthly realm. I don't think that there is a veil at all anymore. And if you're not willing to accept what is, then you're going to have some issues. I think that if we all on this planet were on one consciousness, then everybody would be okay. But they're not, because most people that are involved in gang stalking, they're being peer pressured to do it for whatever reason. They all have their different reasons. Yeah, I don't feel that there's a veil. And I feel that as the paradigm shifts even more, and as the earth ascends, I feel like it's almost like we're in a storm, and it seems like right when you thought that the storm had passed, it didn't. We're still in the storm. We're still like in the eye of the storm. And, Earth is beautiful. It's beautiful. There's so many beautiful things on the earth to focus on, which is why I always tell you guys to focus on nature. Get out in nature. Nature will heal you. It will. Even though it can seem very difficult, nature can heal you if you connect with it. Um, it never stops. It's never ending. And the one thing I can tell you is that women and their children they are at an extremely vulnerable position. This is why women and children have to be protected. They do. Women are extremely susceptible to depression, anxiety. Thank you. I appreciate it. Thank you, Stephanie. Thank you. I appreciate it, Odd. When I said thank you for the super chat, I appreciate it. They want you focused on their gang stalking. They don't want you to focus on your life. They don't. Once they have picked you, then they are going to keep picking and picking and picking. And it doesn't stop even if they die. Even if the gang stalker dies, the spirit is still there. So a lot of people think, well, if I kill this person, that's going to stop it. It's not. It's not. Um, the only thing that you can do is manage it, do self care. Don't focus on it all the time. Talk about, think about, do other things that don't involve it. Thank you, Stephanie. And that's the only way to get through it, because it's very difficult for them to change. Change is where they have an issue. When you change your life for the better, this is where they appear. When they can see you getting ready to change your life for the better, this is when they appear, and they create struggle where it doesn't need to be. They create the struggle. When a gang stalker gets too far gone, this is when they totally go into oblivion. Now, I don't suggest ever trying to get involved or changing them, because it can be extremely devastating when you want to help them, but then they turn around and they hurt you. And you want to help them. You, especially when you are a loving person that understands, you can see it. You can see what compels them to do it. And trust me, it's not Jesus Christ. Trust me, that ain't Jesus. They're being communicated with from aliens. I believe it's aliens. I believe it's interdimensionals. Do I believe that these aliens are very powerful? No, I don't. I think that they give them power because of their fear. The only way that we're going to actually stop gang stalking is to literally reach the gang stalkers themselves. It's an extremely powerful change that pisses the interdimensional demons off. I mean, it pisses them off. When they can see that you have changed a situation, they're going to work extra hard. The best way, because I'm going to tell you something, gang stalkers, y'all are fighting a losing battle. You try to tell them, you're not going to win this. They're not. They're not going to win this. It's going to be a battle that they're going to have to eventually lose. You're going to lose that battle. Because why? Because God is going to force them to lose the battle. It's going to be, unfortunately, so much pain and suffering and loss. And I would like for gang stalkers to stop. Please stop. Please. It would be a miracle if we were to see, and I'm praying for that miracle every single day, because it's only prayer. Prayer is very different from witchcraft. It is. It's very different. But I think prayer can help these people. I want to start seeing more people saying, instead of the bull crap, instead of the denial, I want to see them say, my name is so and so, and I am a gang stalker, and I want help. That is where the miracle is going to happen, right there, when they can say, I need help, because they do. Um, it's one of those things where we're going to have to start scratching each other's backs. I don't hate gang stalkers. I don't feel hatred for them. I feel love for them. And every single time they know that you feel that love for them, They try to make you feel stupid, but that's because they don't know how to react with love. Gang stalkers are usually very unlovable, and they just don't love. They don't love themselves. They don't love other people. If they do love other people, it's typically fake love, because when you look at it, when you look at the other side of that person, they'll tell you that they love you. They'll tell you that they care about you, but then they will go right on the other side of the spectrum and be the gang stalker. So then it's not love, it's love hate. It's very confusing. But, I think that gang stalkers were abused as children. I think that they do need the truth. I don't think that they need to be enabled. They need for somebody to tell them the truth. They need for somebody to tap into them and make them cry and make them sad and make them face themselves and look at themselves for what they are actually doing. They don't need for somebody to go, oh, I'm an empath and this is never ending love and it's just love. No, they need tough love. They need to know the devastation that they are creating in people's lives. They don't need to be coddled. That's the problem. If you actually look at your gang stalker is almost like your charge. They're almost like someone that you are responsible for. When you look at them, and people will tell you that you're stupid, but you're not stupid. You just have understanding. Understanding is everything. It's connected to your cognitive abilities, your cognitive learning abilities, so that you can understand what that person needs. They don't just need love, but they need to accept it, because you know what? Eventually, when you block off the heart chakra and you block off your ability to love, what's going to happen? The heart chakra is going to die. It's going to eventually give out, because the heart needs love to pump. Love is a very powerful force. It is. They need it, but they can't take love away from other people. Yeah, we're connected to them. It's one of those things to where we can't just say, oh, I'm going to throw them away. I'm going to label them as just messed up. You know what I'm saying? Because they're a human being too. They're just a very confused human being. And then they need that love. They do. From wherever they're going to get it. A lot of people say, well, they're narcissists and they just want to supply. Well, we're all narcissistic. We all need love. Everybody on this planet needs love. And gang stalkers, the one thing that I can tell you is that their whole life they have been denied love. So when they experience love, it's different. And it feels good to them. It does. Love feels good to them when they are actually receiving real love, when they are being treated as a human being. This is when they start to get better. They start to heal. Okay. So I feel that there needs to be a universal blanket of love, which is why I've been teaching, because it's being blocked out. What I do is when things get really bad, I call to the angels and I let them in, and I just cover this whole world with love, because that's what's needed. That's what's needed. You know what? Unconditional love is what's needed for these people. But they cannot be in denial. They have got to cut themselves off from the enablers. because the enablers are going to tell them. They are going to tell them, oh, you're right in what you're doing. You're okay to do that. And you're not. It's not okay for 20 or 30 or 40 people to plow their crap into one person. That is not okay. That's not okay for you to do that. It's not okay for you to bombard one person with negative energy. It'll never be okay. You're never justified in doing that. This is why God has options for people. Now, my concern is for the people that are being gang stalked, especially when you're being gang stalked by your own mama, when she's in on it, when she allows it, you know. Simply because maybe it happened to her, or a lot of the people that you depend on for love and support. Your mother is not supposed to lay down seeds of destruction in your life. Your mother is supposed to be doing something totally different. Being a mother is a huge responsibility. It's a huge responsibility being a mother or a father. It's and you know what? You can't, once you become a parent, once you well, once you become a parent, no, my mother's not still stalking me, no account. My mother is deceased. She's not still stalking me. No. She's transitioning to move on. That's where my mother is. Her soul is being cleansed right now. Because the only thing that people do, what you do is you come right back. You come right back. My mother's not still stalking me. The gang stalkers that she laid the seeds down, they're still stalking me because they can't let it go. Stalking me in the afterlife. Nah. I don't believe she's stalking me in the afterlife. I don't believe that. I think that if she is stalking me, what when I see my mother, I see her with her parents right now because both of my grandparents are deceased. So she's with her mother, she's with her father, which my mother loved her father very much. She's with her sister. She's with family. So my mother is not doing anything. She's not, because I if you have a parent that has been compromised like that, there are rituals that you can do. So my mother is where she's with the people that she's supposed to be with. Okay. It's the gang stalkers that are still trying to use her against me still, which is why they're still saying some things that she said. And my mother has already been um, cleared of a lot of those things that she did. So I'm not going to sit up here and put that on my mother. That's not her that's doing that. That's the gang stalkers still using her. Yeah. Yeah, they're still using her. They're and they'll never tell the truth, because I believe that a lot of them go under um this possession, to where they but it's not because my mother herself, I knew her my entire life, was very close to my mother. She loved her child. She loved me. But I believe that she was demonically possessed when she did a lot of the stuff that she did. So they are demonically possessed. They can't blame that on my mother. They're not even telling the truth. They're not speaking any sort of truth. They, my mother is good. My mother is, I'm not going to continue to put that on my mother. I'm not. Yeah. Yeah. They're trying to use her words and things that she said about me when she was still alive. And I'm not going to let them do that. I'm not. People will try to use their memory. You know what I connect to when it comes to my mother? I connect to the good memories, the good times. It's in loving memory. I forgot about a lot of the stuff that my mother did. If you keep that stuff in your memory, it'll drive you nuts. So they can't use her. The gang stalkers need to think about what caused you to even involve yourself. Let me tell you something. If your mother contacted me while she was still alive and said, I want to do this to my daughter, you know what I would say to her? I would say, sis, you need to cleanse yourself. I would not involve myself. So my gang stalkers need to take responsibility. The reason why you were attracted to that was because of your own iniquities. That's just the end of it. I'm very responsible when it comes to when it comes to the people that I spiritually counsel. So you can't blame that on my mother. Don't you dare. Please let my mother rest in peace. Trust me, it's been a lot of people trying to conjure that dark side of her. That dark side is gone forever. My mother has already been punished for what she did. She's already been through that. Leave her alone. Leave my mama alone. Okay? Seriously, leave her memory alone. Leave me alone. The only thing I remember about my mother is sitting the most recent memory that I have of my mom is sitting on the couch with her, sitting right next to her on the couch, and I can still smell her. She didn't stink, but it's not a stinky smell. I just know what my mother smells like, you know? And we used to sit on the couch, like we used to sit on the couch together. My mom was so fun. We used to sit on the couch together, and we would be sitting there watching a movie, and we would just fart. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's my mama. That's my mama. I wasn't even able to mourn her because the gang stalkers wanted to use her against me. You know what I'm saying? I remember sitting next to her, and we were just sitting there laughing, watching a movie. We were both having a drink, and and it just, like, stop trying to make me angry at my mother. I want them to stop doing that. See, y'all are witnessing the gang stalk. Yeah, me and my mom were very close. We would sit on the couch together, and all of a sudden my mother, she would just be burnt, she would just pass gas, you know what I'm saying? And like, it's, my mother allowed me to be a human being. That's my memory of my mama, not this person that was connected to these people, or this person that went on a campaign against me. He's good. Jacob is always good. you know, constantly. What I would like, the one thing I can tell you is that Jacob, he's constantly talking to me about something. And I hate when I'm under spiritual attack, and it makes it very difficult for me as a mom, because my children deserve their mother. And so Jacob, he'll come and he'll be talking to me about something. And so the gang stalkers, what they want is attention. But my attention needs to go on my child. My attention needs to go on work. My attention needs to go on what it needs to go on. It does not need to be on these people. If they are not attentive, because even when I deal with other people, I am attentive to their children's needs. I am attentive to their children's needs, and I am tapped in to what their children need. And I'm going to tell you, every adult that's in your life needs to be attentive to your child. I talk to people about their children every single day. So if somebody is not attentive and doing what is best for your child, it's best not to talk to them. If they don't have an instinct, because anybody that I'm cool with, it's like we're, as a parent, we're not just talking about my child, but we're also your children. What do your children need? Your children do not need you gang stalking people. If you're a gang stalker and you have a child, please get some help, because your children are going to have to suffer those sins. They are. They are. Okay. Honestly. I'm gonna tell you something. Hours and hours and hours and hours can go into this whole thing, to where they are focused on one thing. But I can tell you that if they have small children, or if they have older children, their attention needs to be going on their child, their children, their household. Whether or not your child is an adult out of the household, it's very unhealthy what they do. He's 8. Oh yeah, when Jacob comes up to me and he's talking to me about something, and if I'm not attentive to him, I check myself. I want to actually know what my child is going through. When something is happening, when there is a gang stalking psychic attack, Jacob will get up and he'll start pacing the room. He'll start pacing the room. It's heartbreaking. Please stop gang stalking mothers. Stop gang stalking everybody. That child is feeling everything that the mother is going through. And you can't say, oh, well, the mother is harmful. It's her fault. The gang stalkers always blame the victim. That they blame their victim. In fact, not only that, they try to mess with your mind and say, oh, no, you're stalking me. No, it's not me that's stalking you. There's an entity that is using me to stalk you, not me. I'm not stalking you at all. It's not that I get sharp with him. It's kind of like he'll come and tell me something. It's like, okay, Jacob, okay, I'm trying to handle something real quick, and you're trying to fight off their bad energy. I know exactly how you feel. It is heartbreaking. It is absolutely heartbreaking. For me, it's brought me closer to my faith, not further away. And I think that that's what those entities want you to do. It's a test. Yeah. Yeah, it's absolutely, it's absolutely devastating. Absolutely. No wonder there's so much infertility. I'm gonna tell you, um, the gang stalkers are at a worse disadvantage than their victims. Now, I'm gonna tell you something. I I'm so loving that I actually cared about my gang stalker. I can see his future right in front of me. No, you weren't blocked at all or timed out new account. It's not good because God is going to protect the victim. God is not evil. He's not. God ain't evil. That's not God doing that. And people say, well, if God wasn't evil, why does he allow it? Because God gives us free will. That's why. That's why it's a free will thing. You can't blame God for giving you free will. You have a choice. And the main aspect of gang stalking is money. I'm going to give you money. That's temptation. I'm going to send you X amount of money to gang stalk this person. Say no. Say no. Somebody comes to you and says, hey, I'm going to give you this money to gang stalk this person. I'd rather struggle than to do that to another human being, because guess what? I know what struggle not is, and I know what it not is. I know what it's not. I know the opposite of struggle. So if you are a gang stalker and you're taking money for gang stalking somebody, you're doing yourself even worse of a service. Money and offers and gifts, it is not worth it. That is when you are giving into temptation. You got to stop. There's no way that I would accept any amount of money to gang stalk somebody. They've got to control themselves. And they'll try to say, oh, well, I got paid this amount of money. That's no, you're doing something extremely evil. I've done it too. I've been tempted to participate, but only to let people know what they're sending me through. I think that if somebody commits an action against you, you have every right to send it back to them. That's justice to me. I want to let you know how this feels, how you made me feel by doing what you were doing. They have got to learn empathy, because empathy is something that they haven't learned. And it just goes back and forth, back and forth. They'll go back and forth and back and forth and back and forth. And what do you do? I personally feel like my story shows the personal inside look at what the gang stalker is going through and what the gang stalkee is going through. Let's all heal, please. See, what a gang stalker thinks is, I'm going to control this person. I have to break this person down. I have to do it. No, you don't. You can choose to live your life. Why would you choose that over living life? So, as far as with what we have all witnessed, We've witnessed miracles, and then we've witnessed failures. You don't believe in being able to heal yourself. You don't believe in being able to manifest money without harming people. You don't believe in that. How can you not believe in that when I've shown you that? Seeing is believing. Yeah, it is. You just have to heal yourself. If somebody pisses you off or does something that you don't like, gang stalking them is not the answer. I was so hurt yesterday that I was throwing around so many harsh words, but in reality I don't want to hurt the gang stalker. I feel that they're already hurting. So why do that to them? But you know what? When it becomes to when they are directly trying to hurt you on purpose, that is when you got to have some kind of relief from that. You know what I feel? I'm going to tell you something. The most possessed person that I've seen in this situation is this one person. And for some reason, you're right, new account. Why can't people just stop talking to people that trigger them to gang stalk people? That's a very good question. Why do you allow this person to continue to contact you and initiate this gang stalking? Why? What good is it doing you? No good. It's not doing you any good. So that's the reason why people cannot stop. They can't resist certain people contacting them and initiating this gang stalking. I can assure you that those people are not powerful. The people that allow them, when you allow somebody to convince you to do something, you are giving that person power over you. Mm-hmm. You hit the nail right on the head. Her and the other one, totally demonic. Contact people. Let's do this, let's do that. People can see that they're obviously full of bull hockey, but they will still go along with it. I've asked myself that question a million times. Why do they do it? It's because of fear. Fear of what this person may do to them. That's what it is. Everything that that woman has done in the past year has been to stalk me. People cannot resist. They can't resist it. Even when the entity is telling you, I'm going to kill you, I'm going to make you sick, but I'm going to blame it on this person that I'm stalking that I can't let go of. She cannot let me go. She can't, and I don't understand why. I've contacted people in my family and I've asked them, look, are you telling this woman to do this? And they'll totally play crazy. You have to take responsibility. You can't keep blaming it on her. She's not even to blame. You got to have control over yourself. There's no way that that woman could ever contact me and say, hey, I've got a plot against somebody. Let's do this. And I'm going to do it. I'm going to hang up the phone in her face. Oh, well, I'm going to do this. I'm going to call somebody to your house. Well, go ahead. I have nothing to hide. So that's what that's about. It's about people that can't resist the temptation. Literally, you don't even have to be doing nothing. You can be completely peaceful, serene, doing your own thing. And then as soon as this person comes up, so it was all an initiative, everything for the past year. And for what? For nothing. Literally, nothing is going to come. There's not going to be any fruit that's going to be bared from that negative situation except for death and destruction. And I have warned people because that person was stalking me even when I was in Kansas City. That was the reason why I left. That's the reason why she was the main reason why I left Kansas City. And then when you get yourself involved with this person, all you can say is Jamila, Jamila, Jamila. What? It's my fault? No, I'm not upset. No, not at all. I don't want anything to do with that person. Why is it that I can say that for several years and this person can tell you, they can say, well, she reached out to this one person one time to talk to me, to tell me to stop stalking her. And that's all y'all need. That somebody has told, and then now she's making this discussion about her. It's a perpetual need for attention. Listen, if I have not contacted that person in several years, what does that mean? That means that I want nothing to do with that person. But she can contact people and convince them that I do, and then the gang stalking starts all over again. It's sad. I said the same thing about other females that I talk. What other females do I don't talk? Well, who are you talking about exactly? Who are you talking about exactly? What other females that I talk to now? What other females? You talking about the other females that helped her gang stalk me? You try to come to some kind of resolution with people, but it never stops because they want to control you. I haven't drug any. They're how am I responsible for people getting themselves involved? All you got to do is stop involving yourself. Exactly, Hart. Oh, I knew that. I've been seeing that account for quite some time. I'm not dragging anybody into it. They already involved themselves. How? Goodness gracious. Hello, SC. Yeah, I don't drag anybody into anything. I don't look. The reason why I'm talking about it right now is because I was triggered. The same gang stalkers were stalking me today. You cannot resolve this issue by being in denial. They lie. Oh, well, you're gay and you want this person. For the past 2 years, this person has been accusing me of wanting a person that I have not spoken to in several years. All of this mess in social media, all of this crap in social media because one female cannot let go. And I'm sorry, if you're a 30 or 40 or 50-year-old man and you're placating that, then I'm sorry, that's your problem. This person won't let it go. I'm done with the situation. I have given up on the situation because obviously this person is going to be able to contact these people and constantly use them to harass me. I'm gonna be honest with you. I'm gonna be honest with you. Block that person, Hearth. I think you have a wrench. Block that person. Yeah, I'm definitely not gay. And quit trying to use, you know what? I'm gonna tell you something. I have met a lot of lesbian, gay, and bisexual people. I'll block her. Yeah. I've met a lot of gay, lesbian, and bisexual people, and they don't gang stalk people. So stop trying to use gay people. Stop trying to use the LGBT community for this crap. Stop. They're so confused. They come in the chat room and say, you're definitely gay, but then the other one comes in and says that I'm crying over a man. Which one is it? See how ridiculous they are? Literally, you can't really like take anything that they say seriously. You can't. They're so confused. It's like a confusion. And that is the truth. Yeah, I blocked him. I blocked him. That is the truth. The fact that this woman can't let it go. I've never seen a woman like I've been friends with people before. I've been cool with people before. I feel like women that can't let go of other women, I feel like they're gay. Like obviously you must have some sort of obsession with another person. But I'm definitely not gay. And block that buttercup. Here, I'll block him. Yeah. Let's get rid of all these trolls. Yeah. I'm definitely not gay. When I'm married, they're going to be sitting there saying the same thing. And they'll probably try to stalk and harass me and my husband, but we'll be in a non-disclosed location when I do get married. It's not about being married to say I'm married now. No, it's just that, I'm a pretty normal person that, needs that human interaction and that protection. So definitely not gay. And they can't force me to be gay. For some reason, it's been, I want to force you to be gay. It's so weird. I have no idea what that is. And you know what? They want to change you. They want to, they want to, it's like a mind game that they play. It is. It's sick. She's definitely the one that can't let it go. She can't let go. And I don't even want to hear it. I don't even want to hear it. And keep in mind that even though I'm talking about this, trust me, I will send all of your energy back to you if you keep messing with me. It is extremely devastating to the mind when you have a man that has forced you to have feelings for them, but they're still doing the same thing. I don't want to hear nothing y'all got to say. I don't feel sorry for you. I don't care. I don't want to hear it. Only person I care about as far as that situation is me. It's extremely cruel for you to have an intent to continue to gang stalk somebody and betray them and talk to their enemies anytime you want, talking about them, discussing them, trying to do harm to them. I don't want to hear it. You need to admit to your mistake. And you know what? At the end of the day, God is going to force that man to deal with his mistake. You're a grown man. I'm sorry, a 45-year-old grown man, he's going to have to take responsibility for his actions that he took. The moment that you were intimate with a person, that is when you owed that person something. You had no right to continue to betray that person. I don't care what your excuse is. And you got a dose of your own medicine, and I want you to stew in it. I want you to stew in your medicine so you can know. Yeah, it's yeah. And you know what? Yeah. Yeah, I'm sorry. You gonna have to answer to God for getting a woman to love you, to truly love you, but then continue to send her through the hell. How would y'all feel if y'all cared about a man and you saw him talking to your worst enemy, somebody that continued to try to harm your children, somebody that continuously tried to take everything from you, tried to? How would you feel if you saw somebody that you cared about doing that? It's disgusting. Yeah, I'm sorry. You have to answer for that. You're gonna have to answer for that. Because I haven't done that to this person. To this day, I don't sit on Messenger with his enemies. I don't sit and talk to him on the phone. I don't talk to his enemies at all. I've only done it in his face so that he will know how it feels. Otherwise, I ain't did that. I ain't sitting on Messenger cupcaking and emotionally cheating on you. Mm-mm. Nope. Haven't done that. Sorry, sir. You did that. And it was pretty disgusting. I don't care what your excuse is. Anyway, let's get back on the topic because the topic has switched to these people, which I didn't mean for it to. They want me to constantly talk about them. I'm talking to my people. I am talking to my people that need help with gang stalking. That's who I'm talking to. Let's not get derailed because I know exactly what y'all going through. And you know what helped me was my cleanses. The cleanses help to heal the mind and heal the body and bring you to a peaceful and serene place. You don't have to buy one of my cleanses, even though I highly recommend them, but you can attempt to do a cleanse on yourself, clear yourself of that, meditate, take care of yourself, take your spiritual baths. Don't give up on life ever. Because you know what? The people that love you and care about you, they want you to be happy. Yeah, get her out of the chat. Bye. Here comes anti-ADOS guy. Y'all don't believe in what I do. I can't help somebody that doesn't believe, but what I can tell you is that after years and years and years, like years and years and years of dealing with it, that was the one thing that helped me. It was the reason why I was able to get in my home, because I'm gonna tell you something. I was being bombarded by everybody's demons. Everybody just dumped their crap on me. All of them did. All of them did. So, I have a website, and I also have uh, Cashapp and Venmo and Zelle. But they do help. They do. They help to manage the symptoms of PTSD. They help to clear your head of that stuff. And the attacks that I've been under the past year could have devastated my mind, body, and spirit to the point where it could have led me and my family into homelessness. And God wasn't going to let that happen. So God sent in and intervened and sent some angels to me. And I'm so lucky. I'm so lucky because a lot of gang stalking victims, what will happen is they will lose touch with reality. That's why they say a bunch of crap to you. They want you to eventually lose touch with reality. Literally for a whole year was the takedown, literally. And you know what I said? I kept my sight and my vision. I kept my vision clear. My vision, not theirs. Never. The things that you want from me will never happen to me. I will fight you tooth and nail. And that's what I've done. And eventually, I'll be able to relax and not even think about it. They have been on a mission of the takedown for over a year. And somebody that I loved very much helped them. And I choose not to be angry about it. I choose not to be their victim. I do. At the end of the day, you are considered to be their victim, but you can choose not to be their victim. For over a year, trying to push me out into the streets. And God showed up. King Solomon showed up in my life and said, we're not going to let them do this to you. If you don't keep your mind straight, if you ever start to believe anything that they say, anything, that's when it's a problem. That's why they say all this crap to you. They bombard you with negative information. They bombard you with lies. They do. And you have got to determine the truth from those lies. And the truth is that you can survive it. That is the truth. They don't want you to survive it. They don't. They want you to commit suicide. They want you to go and do something crazy. They want you to try to attempt to murder them. They want you to do something crazy. Don't let them do that to you. Focus on your future. You have created that path for yourself. You create the path for yourself. And you say, you know what? I can see myself laughing. I can see myself having fun. And right now I'm being spiritually attacked, bombarded. They just constantly just blah, 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 calling my name. That's why sometimes you got to change your name. Some of y'all got to change your social security numbers because somebody told me that one of my parents gave them my social security number. If you're being gang stalked, hard body, especially if you're in the public eye, I would recommend a cleanse at least every 3 months. If you can't afford to do it every 3 months, I would say at least do it twice a year. Mine was an extreme case. Literally. They're spiritually attacking me right now. They're trying to spiritually attack me right now. Just blah, 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 because they know that I'm telepathic. Blah, 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 blah. Just going on and on and on and on and on and on. I can see it, but I can't feel it. Okay. It's totally okay to detach yourself from them too. Detach yourself. Okay. Do the detachment thing. But I would say that if you're not able to do it, um, it depends on how many people are gang stalking you. I mean, literally, these people gathered up, and their numbers have gotten smaller. It's a lot of people that were gang stalking me before. They said, we can't handle her. She too much of a fighter. Because I'm a fighter. Okay. I'm a lover, but then again, I'm a fighter. I'm a Gemini. So I love and I fight at the same time. And I can promise them that they'll never make me lose touch with reality. They will never, ever, ever take that vision away from me. You cannot let them cloud your vision, because they want to cloud your vision. And what they'll do is they'll put all kinds of negative subconscious blockages and stuff like that. It's very devastating to the human mind, but you can heal your mind. Okay. If you are a person that, which gang stalkers, like I said, they usually were abused in some kind of way as a child, then it may take a lot. Gang stalkers are going to take years and years and years to heal them. They're going to take years and years and years to heal themselves. And like some of them will say, I don't believe in that. They don't believe that they can heal. So, I believe that you can heal even though you don't. So what they do is they form these codependent, fragmented relationships. Okay. That's what they always do. They going on and on and on about it, always watching. And then they'll say, well, why don't you just get off of YouTube? Why don't you just leave? Because I have a job to do. Yeah. Yeah. Lavender is really good too. Anti-ADOS guy. Lavender is amazing. I tell you, another herb that's really good for it is valerian root. Valerian root is amazing. Um, skullcap is really good as well. So, yeah. And then also doing things like the ammonia jars and stuff like that, that can help. But see, if you don't believe in it, it's not going to work on you. It's not going to work on you. But I can promise you that gang stalkers, they're suicidal. They don't give a damn about their life. If they cared about their life, they wouldn't be gang stalking somebody. They're very depressed and suicidal. They are. Okay. Ooh, my lighter got real hot when I was doing that. I was selling one of these bottles. Yeah, valerian root is amazing. Electococcus is another one that's really, really good. Um, I've been doing the ammonia jars on them, is what I've been doing. I've been doing the ammonia jars and stuff on them, to clear them away and to protect me from them. And then eventually their little spiritual gifts will go away. Anybody that is using their spiritual gifts to do harm to people, they're going to lose their gifts. Trust me. They're going to lose all that, and they have nobody to blame but themselves. If you were blessed with a spiritual gift and you constantly use it to do harm to people, you're going to end up losing it. So maybe that's what they want. So they got some people that have spiritual gifts, Spirit having a spiritual gift is very different from practicing witchcraft. Just because you may be a telepath or an empath doesn't mean that even understand the inner science, the inner space of witchcraft. Oh yeah, marshmallow root. Yeah. Marshmallow root is extremely good because you can tell because they'll start to pull on you. They'll start to do all sorts of things and you just feel really heavy. And then I'm gonna be honest with you, these deities are very good too. Okay, especially when because their favorite thing is using love against you. Their favorite thing, the demons, they love to use your loved ones against you. Okay, so clearing out the energy that they're putting around the heart chakra. I am a firm believer that the reason why heart disease is one of the biggest killers is because of evil people like this. Because there's been times when I wake up in the morning and my chest will feel heavy, and they'll be gang stalking me. That's not a coincidence. It's not a coincidence that my heart has been heavy and you're gang stalking me. Come on now. Come on now. Okay. That's not a coincidence. Stop believing in coincidences. And so you do have to protect your heart. You can call to Maeve, she's a fairy goddess, because Maeve, what she will do, and I do this meditation. I used to do this with my kids, because we've been getting gang stalked for years. It got worse when I came to YouTube and came out of the broom closet. It got worse, trust me. We've been getting gang stalked for years though. I used to have my kids sitting down meditating. They said, Mama, we still meditate. So I'm glad I taught them that. I taught my children how to meditate at a young age. And if I ever suspect that it's reaching my children, I go into war mode. I told God, I said, God, I said, I cannot handle that. So please don't ever let nothing happen to my kids, because I'm going to tell you something. I would lose sight. I would not be able to go on in this world if something happened to my kids, and it better not ever, because I will not be somebody that'll be easy to deal with. God knows that I wouldn't be able to handle that. Because, years ago, I sat and I prayed all night long. I said, God, please, after my baby got hit by a car, I had a I had a 365-day talk with God. I did. I just sat and talked to God constantly. I said, please, God. I said, yeah. So, but it won't, because I believe in my ability to protect my children. Yeah. Yes, Stephanie. Yes, it's so good to teach them that from a young age. That way they can learn how to keep calm in a situation. But what helps me also is crystal ball gazing. I used to have a very expensive crystal ball, but I lost it. it got stolen because I had left it in my car after I had moved to Georgia. But I've got one of those snow globes, and it's got a fairy and it's got glitter in it. And just shaking this ball completely, and I'll call to Maeve. I'll say, Maeve, bring me strength, bring me happiness, bring me good energy and good spirits. And it works. So deities will really help a lot, especially the Fae. They'll help you a lot. Oh yeah, absolutely. I got one sitting right here. I've been gazing into it all day. Here it is right here. And if I ever want to bless a person, or if I ever want to, even when I work with clients, I'll use this gazing ball. I actually bought it for my daughters. Because I know that my daughter, she likes these little snow globes and stuff. And you know, I have faith, especially when you have children, you have to have faith in God. If I was to sit here and worry about my kids all the time, I would worry myself into an early grave. I think that was my mother's issue. My mother worried about me so much that she started to create the worry. She was like, I'm going to do whatever I can to get this child back here with me because she needs to be with me. And it's like, Mom, you got to let me get out in the world. You got to let me follow my path. That's why when my daughter said, Mama, we want to live in, where we're at, with the family. And I said, you know what? Okay, I'll let y'all do that, but I'm watching over you. I would never try to harm my children or manipulate them in a negative way, but I'm definitely watching over them like a hawk. Absolutely. So, yeah. You have a crystal ball with a roll. Oh, I bet that's pretty. I bet that's pretty. Yo, crystal ball gazing is really, really good. What it does is it helps you, especially because I wanted to get more of these, like, the kind that have like the houses and stuff in it, or like, I actually fell in love with these snow globes when that movie Coraline came out, because I used to watch Coraline with the kids all the time. Like, that was one of my daughter's favorite movies. And it just connecting with something that is nostalgic really helps you a lot. Connecting to positive memories. You'd be surprised at how these techniques will help you. But see, when they're using witchcraft as well, okay? When they're using witchcraft and they're hurling curses at you, you do have to be aware of when they're doing things like that. You have to be aware of that. And you have to stay clear and focused and say, okay, this is what they're doing. Spirit always tells me, look, you're gonna have to do this. And this is what saved my life. But I'm gonna tell y'all something. My Eve is really, really powerful, because literally, like, my daughter too, like I can't wait for them to come home, because we usually watch that movie together, and I want my children home with me. I wanted them home with me longer, but they was like, Mama, we grown, we gonna go out. And I said, okay, go ahead. But just, them cold nights, when you get the blankets out and you light up the fireplace and you make some snacks for the kids, and yeah. Oh, really? You know what? I think I'm gonna be Catwoman this year. I think I want to be Catwoman for Halloween this year. Or either or I thought about being a vampirist, like a sexy vampire is what I thought about being. You know what I'm saying? So I love Halloween. I think Halloween, it's such an amazing holiday, but it's been demonized so much. Halloween has been so demonized. Last year, Jacob was he was a hot dog with mustard and ketchup. It was so funny. But you know what? For some reason, hey Jill, for some reason, Jacob is not he hasn't been interested in going trick-or-treating. He just wants to stay home and watch scary movies. And when he was 1 years old, I took Jacob out trick-or-treating from the time he was 1 years old, but then with the whole COVID situation and everything, so Yeah, this is supposed to be a fun time of the year. Who made it messed up? I'm good, Jill. I have a lot of mixed emotions today, because the one thing about me is what and like I said, the gang stalkers, they don't understand this. I will never ever ever disconnect from my emotions. Like, for example, when I do get married and when I do have another baby, I want to be able to just cry tears of joy, or when I become a grandma again, I want to be able to cry tears of joy. I don't want to ever disconnect from my emotions. Because if you're going to disconnect completely, you have to disconnect from all of it. So I'm not going to necessarily completely disconnect from what they're doing. We have to do that on some level. But as far as my emotions and my joy and my peace in my heart, I'm going to keep that alive. I'm going to keep my heart pumping, keep it alive. Don't ever, ever, ever disconnect and say, oh, well, I'm black hearted and I don't have no emotions. That's not good. That's not good. I've got to be able to, because if you can't experience the pain, then you how you gonna experience the joy? And it ain't gotta all be pain. It ain't gotta all be painful. So that's why I refuse to do that. Like when I watch movies and stuff, like what's this movie that always moves me? Oh my God, The Hand That Rocks the Cradle. That movie, for some reason, it gives me strength. Every single time I watch that movie, it gets me every time. The end of the movie, when Annabella Sciorra is like, she's like fighting this demonic woman, and it gets me every time. It just so I think that it's also important for you to not bottle up your emotions. Let it out, cry it out, and don't hold on to that pain. That's why I was telling people, because I'm gonna tell you, last night I went through a crying fit. It felt just like it felt when my mother passed away. And I got so emotionally upset that I couldn't breathe. And this is when I start praying. This is when I start saying, God, please help me. God, please help me. And I can't and I don't suggest anybody bottle up their emotions. Eventually you're gonna have to release it. Eventually. If you don't release those negative emotions, it can kill you. It can kill you. Do not hold in pain. Release it. If it's something that you're hurting about, just cry it out. If you feel that you can't handle the pain, call to Jesus Christ. That when you think about Jesus, you know how they say Jesus wept. That I think that he's important because he's a teacher of healing. So Jesus Christ is a healer. You know how they say that Jesus died, but he was resurrected 3 days later? I don't believe they could kill Jesus. I believe that Jesus was just beaten up. And I think that he healed himself within 3 days. That's what I think. I got the right to make up my own mind in the situation. Don't nobody have the right to interpret the Bible for me but me. Okay? So I believe that Jesus was beaten, beaten, and beaten. And I believe that he sat out there, and I believe that he healed. And that's when he resurrected. And they say that he ascended into heaven. It depends on how you interpret it. But the connection that I have with Jesus Christ is a very intimate and personal relationship. And I believe that most of my teachings come from Jesus, because when it comes to the symbolism of Jesus itself, okay, when you see the heart, they always show him with his heart exposed. So he's talking to us about the heart being the center of the body and how it is important to heal the heart. And I believe that if you bottle up your emotions, because if you notice children that are abused, they're not allowed to cry. You know, somebody abuse you and it's shut up, shut your mouth, don't cry, don't let me know that I'm hurting you. And I know that my gang stalkers have been abused. And I have told them I can heal you. Please let me heal you. They go and they laugh in my face. You know what? It's not that they're making fun of me that hurts me. It's the fact that they won't let me in. They won't let me heal them. That is the worst part of it. When I see somebody that's hurting, that is repressing their pain, but they won't let me help them. It makes me feel extremely bad, but you know what? I've got to help people that are willing to be helped. Yeah. A lot of witches are turning away from using the Bible for witchcraft because we're stepping into the new age, but I totally get what you're talking about. I did some witchcraft with the Bible not too long ago. Eh, you know, but maybe I need to read that book. I don't know. Yeah, but you know, I think it depends on you know, I will tell you that when it comes to witchcraft, it's not like if you're using any type of witchcraft, which the Bible is witchcraft to me, okay? You have to be patient. It's not gonna take place overnight. It's not. It doesn't take effect overnight. It takes time to heal. It takes time to heal certain situations. It takes time. So you have to be patient. And patience is a virtue. You can't expect for it to happen overnight. Now, if you have a heart, if it's in your heart to kill somebody, now that ain't right. Why would you want to cause pain in somebody's life? Like I said, some stuff, you know, I wish some death on somebody last night. I don't really wish death on that person, even though this person spits in my face and laughs at me all the time. This person spits in my face and laughs in my face all the time. I still don't wish that for him. I still have hope for everybody in the situation. Now, we just had to block denial out of the chat room. They're hurting. The gang stalkers are hurting. They hurt. They're in a lot of pain. Keep that in mind. It'll help you to understand, even though they may make you angry and they're doing things to purposely bring out the devil in you, try to control it. Or if they're upsetting you, the way I've always taken it is that it's very, very deep healing. So these cycles, we're moving in and out of these cycles constantly. I have faith that it is not going to be like this for the rest of our lives. There's no way. You're just going through the motions. At some point, there's going to be a light at the end of the tunnel. You are going, and it's not death. A lot of people think, oh, well, we just going to go through this till we die. No, that's not true. That's not true. You are going to be alive and walking around this planet in happiness and peace. At some point, these people are going to find peace. They're going to have to, or else it will create death. I'm going to tell you, they're going to take it to their grave. I don't even want to know. You know, so I don't. I'm so sick of death. You know, even though me and my mom didn't get along, her death was traumatizing. Oh my God, it felt like a train hit me, like I just got hit by a bus. Mm, that's a that's a hard thing. That's hard. That's hard anytime. But just because your mother passes away doesn't mean you can go out and hurt people. These people, they don't want to give up the ghost. The ghost that they don't want to give up is Scrooge. It's Ebenezer Scrooge. It's that misery. They don't want to give that up. You got to give it up at some point. Just constant lying and covering up the truth. If you hurting, just say it. If you truly within good company, if those people are truly your friends, then you should be able to come to them and say that I'm hurting. You should be able to come to them and say that. You shouldn't have to hide yourself from somebody that is truly your friend. You shouldn't have to fake. You shouldn't have to fraud. You should be able to just say to them and feel comfortable and say, I'm hurting, and not feel that they are going to judge you. That is when you know that you are amongst good company. If you are amongst people that are going to judge you for hurting, then you in the wrong company. People that are going to, if you can go and admit to somebody and say, I'm hurting, if you can't admit to somebody that you care about somebody, that ain't your friend. Because that person, if you tell them how you really feel, they're going to judge you. They're going to get upset. That means that that person ain't your friend. And I'm not talking about hurting because of a narcissist. I'm not talking about narcissistic injury. Narcissistic injury is totally different from actually hurting because of something. Narcissistic injury is something totally, totally different. I felt the way that felt. Other narcissistic injury is very different from gut wrenching pain. It is very different. Most of these people are just having narcissistic injury. This is the reason why I pick and choose who I feel sympathy for. You're not hurting, you're just narcissistically injured. There's a difference. I choose to give my love and my compassion to people that truly need it. Because narcissistic people, yes, they do need it, but you gotta break past all those walls and bricks that they done put up because they don't want to be human. They don't want to admit to nothing, even though they're doing it, even though they are reacting. They don't want to do it. They don't want to do it. They don't want to admit. They rather just say, oh, well, you're stupid. What? They'll just say something crazy about you. No, you are hurting. I've had people stalking me for years and they say they don't care about me, covering it up. Maybe some of them don't care about me. Maybe they used to and now they don't. But the point is that something had to cause you to continuously do this, and being in denial is not going to help. The moment that they admit to what they are doing, that's when the healing will start. People enabling them and I'm sorry, you can't you can't hold people's life up. I refuse to let this woman hold my life up. I refuse to do it. Everything that she has been trying to block from me, I'm gonna have, if not more. And she thinks she's so smart, but she can block everything, and she can't. You know, she wants to run the streets and have illicit affairs with a bunch of people. I want to be home with my husband. She can't take that away from me ever. It just is what it is. You know, it just is what it is. And can't nobody tell me, oh, you're spoiled, you're sullied, you're this and that. No, I know that God will wash me of all of that, because I'm going to tell you, they make it hard for you not to sin. They make it hard for you to not do things that you wouldn't do otherwise. But at the end of the day, if that's what you want, then that's what you're going to have. Whether or not it's with him or another person. So if you notice that a part of that gang stalking and what's extremely devastating, have y'all ever had one of y'all exes join in the gang stalking? That's like, what in the world? That ain't nothing but demonic possession. What in the world? You are participating in this? It's extremely hard. It's horrifying. I feel sorry for a lot of these people that don't believe in what I'm talking about when they're under demonic possession. I don't believe in what you're saying, and I don't really know that I'm under demonic possession. Constantly 24/7 under demonic possession for a year. Some people can stay under demonic possession for years. And it's in game. We at the end of that cycle. That's why I was saying get in the circle. But here's the thing. You end that cycle for you. They may keep going. Otherwise, if you just do all the work for them, you can't do that. You can't do all the work for them. They have to admit it so that they can stop on their own. Oh, make me stop. So you want me to do thousands of dollars? You want me to for me to take the time to do free work for you, basically, is what they want. They want free work. They believe in it. They just want you to work on them for free. And you can't do that because you give your life trying to work on them for free. So I don't know what to tell them. But what I do know is the techniques that I've told you guys definitely do work. And I'm always here for y'all whenever y'all need me, because when I'm not on here, when I'm not dealing with the situation that I've been dealing with, I'm living life. I'm breathing and relaxing. I'm not sitting here thinking about all of the negative things that they did. In fact, when it comes to my ex, I don't think about the negative stuff that he's currently doing. If I'm going to think about him, I think about the good things that he did for me. I don't think about none of the bad. Why would you sit there and just consistently think about bad stuff? So you beat them. You beat them at their own game. You're ahead of them, especially if it's your ex. Connect with the positive things that you went through with that person and not the negative. Connect with the good memories. That's just like, oh girl that's been stalking me for 6 years. When I'm not on here and I watch certain movies and stuff that we used to watch together, like me and her used to have like this inside joke. we would always laugh at the same things. And y'all know that movie Scream, when the ghost face killer is running down the steps, and it's so funny on that scene where he's running down the steps. You know, I think about that because the person that I used to know is no longer there anymore. So I'm not going to sit up here and say that I didn't used to care about this person. I'm not going to be in denial about that, the way she is about me, the way she told many lies. No, when I'm not on here discussing this, which it needs to be discussed because we got to shed the light on it. When I'm not on here, I am either meditating, writing in my journal, dealing with my clients, dealing with my children first, dealing with the household, the things that I got to take care of in my house, watching a movie. But if I'm thinking about these people, I don't think about the negative, especially if it's people that you used to know. And this will help you. They want to connect with the negative stuff that they created. Let them do that. You replace their negative thoughts because I can hear what they thinking. I can hear them talking about me 900 miles away. Trust me, I can hear them talking about me. You know what I do when I tap into that negative stuff? You have to replace the negative thought process with a positive. And that is something that can be very difficult to do, but it can be done. And it's something that you have to train your brain to do. Otherwise, you'll tear yourself down with that constant negativity. Okay. Because when I was looking at what I've been looking at the past few days, it has been totally depressing, totally low vibratory, just absolutely ridiculous. Wonder who this is calling me. Hold on, y'all. Okay, y'all, I'm back. I'm back. I apologize for that. So I'm gonna wrap this up because I got some stuff to do. Um, if you guys need me for anything, I know exactly what you're going through. I'm always there for you. Okay. And I just want people to not um when I first came across people that were being gang stalked on YouTube, um, you know, I mean, literally probably about 15 years ago, I started realizing that I was going through that. And so I'm just telling you that you can survive it. You don't have to go crazy. You don't have to give up on the world. You don't have to give up on life. You don't have to give up on your dreams. Never give up on your dreams. Never, never. Okay. So, especially when your dreams don't harm somebody else. Like if somebody tells you, oh, well, you having this, and that is hurting me, then, you know, that, you know, just keep that relationship with God and trust that God is gonna get you through it, and don't necessarily think that you have to go through it by yourself. I know that I have basically been going through my own stuff and then also other people's stuff for the past especially the past few years. And so you'll get through it. Okay. All right, guys. I will see y'all later. Have a wonderful Wednesday. I love you guys, and I'm out. Okay. Oh, also, y'all still got a few days to get into my Sam Hain circle. I'm so excited about Halloween, y'all. It's gonna be a pretty interesting Halloween. I know that I want my focus to be on making cupcakes for the kids, watching movies. So I'm gonna be really, really in particular very serious about my energy for the next week because I don't want these people taking my energy because it does drain you. It's very draining. So I'm going to meditate and I'm going to, talk to spirit and find out exactly what they want me to do. They haven't necessarily given me the ritual yet that I'm supposed to be doing for the circle. Well, actually, they have. Actually, the petition's been done, but as far as like everything else, you know what I'm saying? I know that for the next couple of days, I'm gonna be doing a lot of house protection. I'm gonna be doing a lot of protection of y'all that are in the circle because it's definitely a transition. Keep in mind that December the 31st is not the new year, it's October the 31st. Okay. All right, y'all. I'll see y'all later. Love and light. Bye bye.